Hello, my name is Kyle VanScotter, and I had bought a bag of Reese's peanut butter cups, and I shared none of them with a friend of mine who helped purchase it with me. And I looked like what would happen if Will Ferrell and an elf and maybe Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory all had a baby, and I ended up growing a 3-disc CD changer over the top of my head. Now, how is all the folks doing that actually give a shit about what that they're watching right now here tonight? Good, good. Now, I would like you all to meet a very special guest of mine, Sammy, aka Garfield, aka the cat that is basically no different from a heroin addict getting fed crack. Look at him right there. Oh. And I'm supposed to be his forehead of security. Now, on to tonight. I know that there are people out there who actually give a shit about humor nowadays. I watched a roast as an example of James Franco. For starters, Jonah Hill. Too bad you didn't do too much stand-up comedy. Pretending like you're everybody, or everybody is your bitch, to be more exact. Now, let's see. That's an ego like no other, coming from a guy I feel who practically would probably go crazy if he got found in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I could see that now. A chia pet turned it into a 5-ton balloon and having to sell it into a suction or liposuction thing or whatever, with Johnny Depp right at the end of it all, practically being Willy Wonka. Creepy! And also James Franco. Last time I had ever seen anything from you, it was you trying to pull up an imitation from a 1980s hair band, and that ended up being all washed up because, no, washed up's not the proper word. Hippie. Started to sound like Cartman from South Park. Don't worry, folks, I'm not going to do any of those imitations. Even though they've been around for a long ass time, I know with a couple things are certain. One, they're probably still going to get death threats, and by they I mean in the directors. Two, their voices are going to sound cornier and cornier. Three, they're probably going to either come up with more dick or fall or stuff, and a whole entire high school can come up with internet. Yeah, in an hour, well, no, actually, more like Matt Stone and Trey Parker are probably going to come up with more dick and far art jokes in an hour that in high school kids are going to come up with in a year. But that's entirely irrelevant because I know that if I ended up making any reference to any particular high school or place in general, I know that I'd probably end up having a fire be set out in the middle of my lawn and a whole bunch of toilet paper be thrown all up and down on the trees while I end up getting shaving cream probably be at the eye hole of my door with deer piss on the door or knobs and a whole bag of dog shit it being burned right on my front porch. It's Halloween, folks. Anything could happen. Besides, last thing I want to do is end up getting shaved while I'm in my sleep, tied up while I have a ball gag in my mouth. Or have X-Lax be poured into my iced tea or soda or coffee, which I should probably lay off of because I'm practically stuttering more than half the time, about as much as that guy from The Office. Excuse me, sir. Can I see my baseball? There's something about Mary. It was such a good movie. Ben Stiller, though, one of the biggest pushovers. I learned of Jim Allen in I don't know what else. Moving on. Okay. This week I'm planning on going to a bar/strip club. Now, any of you guys who look to try and pick up girls that look just like me, here's my recommendation to you. Just go on the dance floor and whatever cutie you end up seeing, grind with them until they end up saying something and being like, "Oh my God, get the fuck away from me! Oh my God!" Until that point in time, you try and get your mouth on by trying to dance, because I guarantee you that more than half the time, any girl that you end up trying to ask to dance will probably end up declining to you. Take it from me. I was asking girls if they want to dance in German. Now, I am from Maine, and I'm pretty sure that will probably go over a lot of girls' heads. But I would hope that it would probably sound like something impressive, considering that most of the time studies have shown languages other than English can expand your mind. The first night I ever did that, I not only got the wording wrong, I also ended up getting chased out by a really drunk girl because she thought I was asking her to see if he would mind sucking my cock out in the middle of the dance floor. Boy, how I do not know how I have not been banned from that place because of that. Then again, the owner of the strip club ended up walking up to me saying that they know me when I have gone onto their lot less than more than half of my coworkers. It's a conspiracy! I'm just, no. More like, way too many people have nothing better to do. It's starting to sound like Deadpool. Which, I do plan on dressing up like him. Anybody from Maine end up being a really tall, big-headed dude with tree trunk like legs and about the size of Sasquatch with who looks like he has a foot about the size of more than half of any guy or girl's face. That's me. Now, the only question is whether or not I'll end up getting a real katana or a fake one and a B-23R or a fake water pistol. Gee, I just think it probably would be a bad idea though if I ended up deciding to point it at anybody. Sorry folks, there was a bit of a technical difficulty because I was now touching the laptop. Touch, 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 touch. It's like a little button. I don't know if anybody's ever had those moments where they end up getting told not to push something. And we all know that more than half of the people that end up seeing this, we all know that you would probably do so. Don't deny it. Because a lot of people are against trying to go by rules. What do you expect, though? That's how a lot of society ends up going by nowadays. Which I love, because we are America. God's fucking country. Speaking of which, a buddy of mine who's a cop that I used to know from where I used to live, which was out in Newtown, Connecticut. He actually he got punched in the head way too many times. More than half of his friends will say that explains the brain damage because he used to go with a football on a daily basis. He has a logo on his Facebook with a picture of a police officer wearing a police hat, wearing a taser, or more having a taser in his hand like this, saying, "Don't make me tase you, bro." I told him one day when I ended up putting up a really retarded status, like, I don't know, let's play a game who could say the stupider but funnier thing. And he ended up making the first comment being like, "You won." I replied back to him and said, "You should get a poster, and instead of it having a picture of a police officer with a taser in its hand, you should have a picture of Uncle Sam with a taser in his hand saying, 'I want you to give me a reason to tase you.' And then have the Hail to the Chief song." I told him if he didn't do that, in about 5 minutes, I was going to end up showing pictures of her or him and a fake Jessica Simpson. And the funny part about that was he still ended up putting that photo up. Because I thought at the time that his wife would not be able to distinguish the two for a moment's notice. But then I was wrong. So I ended up putting that on there, and after that point in time, I ended up drinking tequila because it was Cinco de Mayo, and ended up singing the mariachi song because I'm starting to think this country's fucked. That and also Cinco de Mayo was going on at the time. Oh, how I drink like Charlie Sheen sometimes. Speaking of which, it reminds me, ironically enough, Machete 2. Go see that. The first one was awesome. I don't know if anybody out there is big on action movies or anything. I strongly suggest you guys go see it because it's basically like what would happen if James Bond ended up deciding to make himself look like a Lil Jon with Mexican heritage and decided to end up painting a marker over his upper lip. Okay. I hope it's good. Because if it's not, then I'm going to go to the creator of that movie and tell him the plot for which I could pull off sounding like Martin Luther King, having my own version of how it would turn out if we ever had our first black president. And if you folks want to hear it, give me 2 seconds. I have a dream that one day Jimi Hendrix will come back from the dead to reveal himself to be an alien to become the President of the United States. Now, Jason Ellis, you could fucking tell me off for this because I know I just stole over one of your random trip fest from you that you had. And also, grow some hair. You look like one of the Coneheads. Folks, I'm going to keep acting stupid. I'm going to try and see if I can make somebody laugh. Anybody out there who actually gives a shit. This is Kyle VanScotter, aka Jimmy Neutron. Tomorrow I'll try to see if I could figure out if I could have some sort of like intro music or something like that. Thank you, folks. Good night.